Welcome to your Barbados Today Evening News Update for Monday, May 6. So glad you can join us. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. The Barbados Fire Service is in for a major upgrade. According to Home Affairs Minister Edmund Hinkson, efforts are afoot to introduce legislative changes and technology to modernize the service. He made the announcement as he addressed the opening ceremony of the Caribbean Association of Fire Chiefs Conference at the Accra Beach Resort and Spa, Rockley, Christchurch. Hinkson says the changes will start with the revision of the island's 1961 Barbados Fire Service Act.
We are at the level of my ministry with input from the management of the Fire Service and the Association of Fire Service Officers actively preparing a new legislative platform for delivery of fire services in order to modernize and position our service in line with current practices in the profession. We have to ensure that our legislation facilitates the transition of the service into a comprehensive fire management and rescue operation, which will allow it to ultimately be more responsible to the demands of the public in the 21st century. Additionally, our fire service is now under a brand new Protective Services Commission.
Meanwhile, a visiting fire official is urging the Barbados government to urgently upgrade the skills of the island's first responders as the country moves towards becoming a green economy by 2020. The head of the U.S.-based National Fire Protection Association, Jim Pauley, made the call in his address at the opening of the Caribbean Fire Officers Conference today. He explained that a smart workforce is required to meet the new demands. Pointing to the use of electric vehicles, Pauley noted that even in bigger countries where these vehicles are prevalent, many emergency responders are not equipped to deal with serious accidents involving these vehicles.
Now, another example I can give you of this where we sort of missed the indications of it up front was around electric vehicles. Very popular in parts of the world, becoming very prominent in the United States. Alternative fuels being used besides our normal petrol that's used in the vehicle. That industry was scaling up. But, again, nobody paid real attention to the first responders. What do you have to do when you respond to an accident involving one of those vehicles? How do I shut the power off? How do I extricate somebody from a vehicle that has high voltage wiring running in places that we weren't used to seeing it before? So it's another case where we've developed a training program for emergency responders that 250,000 emergency responders have taken that program to date. It teaches them about the variations in electric vehicles, about what the different elements of that car are, what they need to avoid, how it is that they might need to approach extrication differently. How do you shut off power? How do you handle those lithium-ion batteries after they've been in an accident? So it was an area that we wanted to make sure that the fire service began to skill up on early in the process. So often in our history, we don't do those things until after the tragedy occurs.
In other news, the man accused of the stabbing death of 27-year-old Anthony Nurse is on remand at HMP Dodds. The accused, 35-year-old Clifton Ricardo Lewis of Stratford Hill, Pyland, St. Michael, appeared in the district's A Magistrates Court on Saturday, May 4. He was not required to plead to the indictable charge, which occurred on April 29, and he will reappear in court on May 31. Meanwhile, Nurse's family and friend held a candlelight vigil in his memory at the Pine St. Michael last evening. The 27-year-old father of a 3-month-old girl was fatally stabbed last Monday near his Stratford Hill, the Pine St. Michael home. A large crowd with brightly burning candles walked through the community, singing hymns and choruses. Prayers were also offered on behalf of the grieving family and for peace in the community. The vigil ended at the well where Nurse collapsed after he was stabbed. Barbados has to step up its game to meet the sustainable goals by 2030. That's the view of Chief Executive Officer of the Blue-Green Initiative, Mohamed Najee. He was speaking at the launch of Barbados' first Small Island Future Fest, set to take place on June 28 and 29 this year. The Global Environment Facilities Small Grants Program has partnered with the United Nations Future Centre Trust and the Barbados Investment and Development Corporation's Blue-Green Initiative to stage the event.
You know, the current system towards achieving the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals, is failing us. And we can no longer sit back and wish for positive change to just come to our doorsteps. It is our responsibility, therefore, to create a personal consciousness that resonates towards achieving nationwide change, and this consciousness will start at SIF, Small Island Future Fest.
Project Officer with the Future Centre Trust, Shai gave a description of what a sustainable Barbados will look like.
A sustainable future for Barbados looks like our supermarket shelves filled with more local than imported goods. It looks like clean gullies and beaches, coral reef restoration, securing the livelihoods of fisherfolk and shielding our coastlines. For me, sustainability looks like 20-year-old Barbadian scientists leading the way in new technologies, innovations, and health discoveries.
In sports, Shai Hope and Gayle have been named as vice-captains of West Indies team for the Ireland Tri-Nation Series and the ICC Cricket World Cup, respectively. The 25-year-old Hope, a wicket-keeper batsman, was named as a deputy to Jason Holder for the ODI series, which started on Sunday and runs until May 18. Meanwhile, experienced opener and former captain Gayle will be Holder's deputy for the ICC Cricket World Cup to be played in England and Wales from May 30 to July 14.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
To the region now, in Trinidad and Tobago, former Attorney General Annan Ramlogan and UNC Senator Gerald Ramdeen made their first court appearance today. The two have been called to answer charges related to kickbacks from state briefs. When they appeared before Chief Magistrate Maria Busby Earl Cadell in the Port of Spain Magistrates Court this morning, Director of Public Prosecutions Roger Gaspard agreed with Ramlogan and Ramdeen's lawyers to expedite the case. Ramlogan's attorney, Pamela Elder, also called for a speedy trial, while Ramlogan declared that he would be vindicated.
As I indicated to the court, I trust that this matter is dealt expeditiously, and I have read and heard that the main witness, the alleged co-conspirator Vincent Nelson, is not enjoying the best of health. So I hope he gets the best of medical treatment and he keeps in good health and does not go to the hereafter before we get an opportunity to cross-examine him with respect to these allegations he has made against two senior members of the bar. So the Honorable Director was there this morning, and I have the utmost confidence in the Honorable Director that he would make all necessary disclosures and he will do everything in his power to ensure that this matter is dealt with expeditiously. That's all.
Mr. Ramlogan, any comment?
I have every confidence in my attorney at law, Ms. Pamela Elder, who leads the legal team for myself. I know that at the end of the day, the truth will emerge, and I anxiously await my time and my day in court. Matters that are subject to the court, of course, I can't comment. However, I will be going to court myself to represent my clients. I'll be back at my law firm tomorrow, and I intend to live my life as normal. no weapon formed against me shall prosper.
On the international scene, congratulations are pouring in from around the world on the birth of the newest member of Britain's royal family.
I'm very excited to announce that Meghan and myself had a baby boy early this morning, a very healthy boy. Mother and baby are doing incredibly well. It's been the most amazing experience I could ever possibly imagine. How any woman does what they do is beyond comprehension, but we're both absolutely thrilled and so grateful to all the love and support for everybody out there, from everybody out there. It's been amazing.
That's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Islamic Media and bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. And you can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Good evening.